going on, Jerome? So this is going to be a bit of a raw, real rant because we are in the midst of the peak of BS season about the draft, where we've hit the dead period. So there's no more inputs, no more combine, no more pro days, no more anything like that. So we just hit the home stretch, and I feel like sometimes like the sports media industrial complex just sort of makes things up to make things up, and also you add in, I mean, social media now. So like the aggregator accounts and like, the ones that we're talking about, not talking about the Vikings ones, they do good work, but like the national ones, we're just like shocking revelation. Oh, the commies want to move down and the commies do this and blah, 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 Patriots, blah, 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 trades. It's very tiring right now. It is. And we said, like, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. And that's basically a good way to go about it, because we said that I find this time of year very, very entertaining, because if you treat it like BS and what you hear right now, even a week out from the draft, is not going to sync up with what you see in the draft once those picks start flying in about a week. But it's a good reminder. Don't believe anything. So it's the opposite of Ted Lasso. Do not believe and believe. Believe in nothing. That's right. And I mean, if you believed all of the hype and the rumors during draft season, even a couple days out, Will Levis could go number 1 to the Panthers last year. Justin Fields could go number 2 to the Jets back in 2021. All that stuff. And it's funny. Like, again, I want to make a coffee table book of all the rumors and all the crazy innuendo and stuff that goes on this time of year, and just it doesn't sync up. And Dan Orsini, lead NFL reporter over at The Athletic, she put out a great tweet where just had an insightful draft conversation with a GM who strongly reminded me about 20 times that most teams are still undecided and no team is leaking to anyone who they are picking. Most organizations aren't even settled on who they are taking. It's still early. That's the thing too, where you go through all the leaks or sources say, or teams close to blah blah blah. Now it's one thing like when Jeremy Fowler does his anonymous poll of GMs and executives. That's no muss, no fuss. But in terms of, hey, I hear this team is really doing their homework on blah 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 blah. Now, sure, you can piece that together by who's doing 30 visits, who's doing pro days, who's doing private workouts and all that stuff. But in terms of straight up, this is how this team really wants it, blah. Like, how would it ever benefit a GM to leak their draft board or their strategy with the insiders? Now, anything that leaks this time of year has an agenda attached to it. Like, if Spielman was very good at this, it wasn't TCO for Winter Park, nailed it. Winter Park and then eventually TCO. Nothing leaked without a reason. Like that thing was ship shape. That thing was tight. And if something got out, they wanted it to get out. It's information that they wanted to know. And again, I firmly believe that the whole rumor about Teddy back in 2014, oh, he's got skinny knees. I firmly believe that was from the Vikings camp. Now, karmically, it sort of came back to bite us in the ass, but is what it is there. But also continuing on, so Belichick had a great insight yesterday. And yes, Belichick in the Viking city. Hey, Billy boy. So if you want to stay in coaching / consulting, so Kevin O'Connell was your draft pick in 2008. Brian Flores was your assistant and lieutenant for a bunch of years. So come to the great state of Minnesota. I have a guest room that you can rent, $4,000 a month, no utilities included, and I feel like you would do really good as the assistant to the regional head coach or something like that. Anyways, Alex Barth, a New England beat writer. Bill Belichick says accurate draft information doesn't leak from teams until about 12 hours before the draft. Adds most of the information this time of year comes from agents. And that makes sense, too, where you look at some of the players like fluffing up the draft board. I mean, could J.J. McCarthy just have a hell of an agent, and could this be some sort of Machiavellian Godfather marionette twisting the strings of, hey, my client's going to get up there in the top 6, someone's going to buy it? Or could it be a spot too where maybe Will Levis and Justin Fields just had fantastic agents in their respective drafts, and that's where all the hype and bloviation came from? Now, I don't believe that the McCarthy hype is is just agent driven. But in terms of, well, hey, guess what? I mean, this team wants to trade up. This team wants to trade down. This team wants to do this. This team is interested here. This team is blah, blah, blah. You can see that being traced back to the agents. And I would say, like, this time of year, try and reverse engineer it. Go full on Quay Bono. Who benefits? To whom's benefit? Or whatever. So the thing is, like, there's so much BS out there right now, and no one's going to give you a straight answer. Now, I do give credence to the local beat writers, especially ones that have been in market for a long time. And especially like scouting personnel has been intact with the team for a long time too. So, yeah, I mean, the Vikings, Kwesi coming in, replacing Spielman, like the scouting department and Stevenson and company, Monins, still largely intact. So that has a little bit more credence because you develop those relationships, and it is a little bit more of a give and take, quid pro quo. But also, I mean, they're not going to give you like the full draft board. They're not going to give you the order of the quarterbacks. Like, everything is just going to have to be reading the tea leaves right now. But also, I mean, we said before, like the national media JEROME haircuts, the insiders, like they're sometimes used as sock puppets by agents, by teams, and like we said, stuff doesn't get out unless people want it to get out, and there's an agenda attached behind it. All right. And also, just recapping. So this is a rough guesstimate of some of the rumors that have been flying around over the last couple of weeks. And I mean, some are good, some are not. So first off was, remember when the Bears were like, oh, we're good with Justin Fields. Hey, you want to trade out for Caleb Williams? Come on. And then, no. Or, hey, we can get a second round pick for Justin Fields. No. Ain't gonna happen either. Or Jaden Daniels at 2. Or Jaden Daniels is fallen. Or there's concerns about Jaden Daniels' age as well as 1 year of production. Oh, Jaden Daniels can't slide. Oh, Jaden Daniels isn't accurate underneath, even though he is. Oh, Jaden Daniels doesn't have that arm strength. Oh, Jaden Daniels is Teddy Bridgewater. Or Drake May. Oh, we love Drake May. He's got the ceiling of Caleb Williams. Drake May. Oh, he makes the easy throws look extremely hard. I feel like it was about a month ago. There was a full-on concerted astroturfing effort to just completely discredit Drake May. And now, sometimes you can trace back. I mean, is there a certain team that's hoping that Drake May falls? And maybe that's where that's originating from? It's so fun going down the rabbit hole. Oh, what about J.J. McCarthy at 2? Oh, he's got the highest floor. Oh, other side. Oh, J.J. McCarthy's not a first rounder. Oh, Harbaugh ran the ball just to hide J.J. McCarthy, even though Harbaugh has always run the ball. Okay. Michael Penix Jr., always not a first rounder. Oh, there's medical concern. Actually, take that back. So with Penix, all of the rumors and criticism has been about accuracy, or he's a one-speed thrower, or Adunze, Polk, and McMillan bailed him out all the time. Okay. Where's that chat with Jaden Daniels? Anyways, but the whole thing about it is I feel like most of the concern about Penix and his health has been fans and writers. I feel like if there was legitimate medical concern about his ACLs and about his shoulder from teams, multiple teams, I feel like that steam would have gotten out. And there hasn't been any credible steam. There hasn't been a Schefter's sources say that multiple teams have Michael Penix Jr. Not as a first rounder or off their board because of medical concerns. That hasn't been there. Or Bo Nix is a top 4 quarterback. Or this is a couple weeks ago. Oh, Malik Neighbors is better than Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, some teams may see it that way, sure, but okay. Or the latest one is Rome Odunze is wide receiver 1. I don't know. Or concerns that, Joe Alt isn't tough enough. Okay, like the 6'8" ballerina dude, or prior to Totino Grace, who's going to be a future Pro Bowl left tackle. He's not tough enough. All right, he's tough enough for Notre Dame. No. Brock Bowers isn't athletic enough because he didn't test. Oh, wait, he just did a backflip. Okay, he's plenty athletic enough. Okay. Adonai Mitchell has type 1 diabetes, and he doesn't take treatment seriously, so that could be an issue in the NFL. I don't know. Jermaine Burton, the Alabama receiver character, red flags. I mean, all this, what's true, what's not. And again, it's frustrating if you try to find the actual truth and parse through all the BS. But like I said, for me, it's entertaining. It's completely entertaining because you see the push and the pull. You see grown-ass adults lying about 21, 22-year-old kids, hoping that their lies is enough to get them down to a certain draft pick. I don't know. But like we always say, every single rumor, cui bono, to whom's benefit, who benefits, right? So, and also, we just did a video like Pete Schrager saying like, oh, well, there's concern that the Vikings don't have enough draft capital, and then he's got the Giants trading up to 4 for JJ McCarthy. I wonder where that came from. Please, man. But like I said, if all the rumors are true, Will Levis would be a Panther, and Justin Fields maybe Aaron Rodgers backup. Because I still think that they would have signed Aaron Rodgers, but it doesn't matter. Anyways, it's BS season. Don't believe a thing. You guys know what to do. Skull production value.